Hello, my virtual home. How is it going? It has been some time since we last spoke. Um, guys, I must have really missed you because I got a whole zit that came out just right before I spoke to you. But no, guys, I am actually in a mode or of self development. And I just watched this broadcast with this amazing leader, and I am so motivated. I couldn't help but come on and tell you guys about how motivated I really am. Okay, first of all, guys, if you don't know me, it's me, your favorite internet marketer, your favorite motivator, your favorite lady of finance. And I was watching an interview with this amazing powerhouse called Stormy Wellington. And some of you guys may not know, but I joined a network marketing company called Total Life Changes recently, literally this year. And I'm having so much fun with that business. But I said, man, Stormy was able to do some amazing things when she got started. I mean, the woman went from 0 to 1 million in income in less than a year, more like 7, 8 months. And I was like, well, how about I learn more about not who she is today, but where she was, like mentally, and when she started, before she started, and like how did she make those changes to be able to be so dynamic. And I believe I got some answers. So I want to just share with you guys just a little bit, just a tiny tidbit of some of the things that I got from Stormy, just watching one of her interviews with a guy called, um, uh, was it Ash Cash? So Ash Cash and Stormy Wellington came together and to do an interview, and I think it was amazing. And if you guys have watched it before, comment down below and let me know, what do you think about that interview. And if you haven't watched it before, go check it out. I mean, it really is pretty good and pretty empowering. And I heard that poor people likes to keep, like, no, this didn't come from the interview, but I heard that poor people like to keep things to themselves. They like to keep a lot of secrets. It's like they don't like to share information because they feel like if you got the information I just got, that you'll do better than me. Well, I dare you. Nah. So anyway, I just watched that interview, and one of the things that I got from the interview is where Stormy Wellington said, I had to become my own best friend. I realized that, we're in this world by ourselves, and you have to be able to trust. Excuse me, she didn't say trust. You have to be able to believe in yourself and have faith in yourself. And I believe that's what I needed to hear, because sometimes we're in a place in our business and in a place in our lives where we don't necessarily have the belief in ourselves that we need, right? And then we don't have the faith in ourselves that we need to have. So what happens is we shortchange ourselves, and we don't end up where we need to be because we are not giving ourselves the opportunity to grow. Okay, so as I was saying, there are times where we limit ourselves because of our lack of belief and faith in what we can do. And this interview was so profound because we have to remember that we are gods within our own beings, right? The power that God has, we have within. And we have to be able to channel that power so that it can manifest the things that we need to manifest in our own lives. And that was one of my biggest takeaways, like, oh my God, I have not been my own best friend. Oh my God, I have not. And myself, I've not really connected to a lot of people personally. I mean, I do keep my circle pretty small, so it's not like I've been delegating this best friend role. I think that I haven't had a best friend, and I also haven't been my own best friend. So I just been without a best friend, and that needs to stop. So my thing is getting back to myself, taking this moment to kind of get back to myself and become my own best friend. Oh my, I think that was so huge. It really did hit home. Um, so after that, Stormy said that, she read the book of Proverbs every day, and that she also read a book called Think and Grow Rich. And I mean, this Think and Grow Rich book has been pushed down, so many times. People were talking about it. So, I mean, I know it's an awesome book. Guys, I've been so busy, like raising kids and getting married and starting businesses, and we did a semester of law school and all of that kind of jazz that I really haven't had time to read too many outside books. But now I have plenty of time, and I think it's the perfect time to get real familiar, and if not, read this book every year, along with one that one of my other coaches is recommending, which is How to Win Friends and Influence Others. So I'm going to put the link to those books below so that me and you can get them. I'm also going to put the link to my Total Life Change business so that you guys can support the business, join the team, and, just be a part of this dynamic wave, because I feel like it's going to be bigger than what I know it to be, because I know myself and I'm going to work this thing, okay? Now, another thing that stood out to me working and listening to Stormy in this interview is her method of ADD, right? And then a lot of people say, I'm not ADD. I wouldn't even want to be ADD. Well, it's an acronym for something else. And first is going to be the awareness and assessment. And then you have to decide what has to go, and then you have to divide. So it's awareness and assessment, decide and divide. And I just love that concept. And she says that this concept is what got her free from the things that were holding her back, from the person that was not as producing as she wanted to be. She had to ADD herself, right? And I feel like I'm at the point right now where I need to ADD myself. And it doesn't sound all, it doesn't sound all beautiful and like flowers are blossoming, but there comes a time where we have to become aware, aware of where we are now and how it's either so much of where we want to be or how it's so different than where we want to be. So awareness is going to be a big deal, right? So after awareness, you have assessment. So assessment is kind of like a diagnostic. You have to sit down and tear this thing apart and actually understand what's going on. Like, you have to understand it from a subjective and an objective view about what's going on, even if it's with you. Like, what's going on with you as if you were a fly on the wall looking in, and then what's going on with you subjectively, the things that you really understand, and put them together so that you're creating a heightened level of awareness within yourself, and a breakdown of assessment, so you kind of have you know what to do. I mean, a doctor has to assess the patient before he does neurosurgery. Think about if a doctor was going into your mind and into your brain and opening it up, but they didn't do any kind of assessment. I mean, how much trust would you have in yourself and your ability to recover, right? Or even your ability to make it out of the surgery, right? So I mean, it made me realize that, especially when you're in leadership, when you're in a leadership position, people are looking for you to be the assessor. And I didn't look at it like that until just recently, but you have to be the assessor. You have to be the assessor so that you can lead. Like, how can you understand a course of business or a transaction if you didn't carefully assess? So assessment. I think I could do very, very well to no, seriously, take a lot more seriousness to assessment. After you have become the awareness, have the sense of awareness, and you have done your assessment, the next thing is to decide. Because after you've done an assessment, just like a doctor that opens up the brain and they made an assessment, now it's a deciding factor of what we're going to do, right? And then Stormy broke it down to where she had to decide after her awareness and assessment. She had to decide what needs to go in my life, what needs to go, what is it that got me here, right? And then what do I need to get rid of? Because this is not where I want to be. This is not the person that I know. This is not the person that I want to be. Like, I think they even use the word imposter. How can you dare, even yourself, how this other self, right? How can you dare impose yourself onto my life? And how can you dare impose your ways and the way you move onto my life and disrupt my wants and my desires and the manifestations that I have for my life? How dare you? Even in the mirror, you got to look at yourself and say, how dare you, right? Now, so after the awareness and assessment, of course, we decide what has to go, and then we divide. See, this is the factor where I think, not even including myself, we get stuck here, right? We get stuck here, and we don't take ourselves away from the things that are stopping us. So I think that this movement, this video that I just watched was just great, right? And then it says we have to move from an expectation to appreciation. See,